Hello, this is Tiara from the Goddess Vibration Podcast, and I am doing a general reading for you guys. So, this is my first full length general reading, which is kind of funny because in some of my other videos, I say I don't typically post general readings on YouTube, but you know what? I'm going to eat my own words and post a general reading on YouTube. So, we actually recently just recorded an episode about energetic chords. And for those of you who are not aware, energetic chords are basically connections that we form to other people when we have a lesson to learn. And those chords are connected at specific chakras depending on the lesson intended. So we talk in full length about the significance behind this and what it means and how to deal with having energetic chords to someone else. Most of the time, it's to a romantic connection. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that episode, please do. It is season 2, episode 31. And we really spoke in length about like some examples that could occur or take place when it comes to having these type of connections to other people, because let's be honest, it can kind of drive you crazy. Like an energetic chord or an energetic connection to someone can make you feel like you're going freaking insane, because oftentimes this person is all in your mind all the time. You might feel them or sense their presence. You might see them in your dreams. You might have fantasies about them. It's literally like you can't get them off your mind. So today I am going to take that a step further and do a general reading on who you are corded to, the significance of the chords, and what you may need to learn when it comes to this connection. And I will also include guidance and inspiration on how to dissolve these chords, but the focus specifically is going to be on someone or a person you have an energetic chording with. It would surprise me if it came through as a romantic connection, and how to navigate it, what's the significance, what are you supposed to learn from it, and how to dissolve it. Okay? So I'm just going to dive right into this. And I just want to let you guys know, if you stumbled upon this reading, if this reading found you from the feed or you just stumbled upon it through the algorithm, then there is certainly a message here for you. But please be advised, my approach to tarot readings is a little bit different. I do not sugarcoat, and my readings are very, very introspective. So I am going to give you the nitty gritty. I am going to give you the full truth. This isn't going to be a reading that's rainbows and butterflies and fluff. It's just going to get down to what exactly it is, what you might be doing to contribute to it. But I will also make sure that you have guidance and inspiration at the end. So I try to make it a firm balance. I'm going to be honest with you, because this isn't a general fluff and rainbows and butterflies reading, this might not be the reading for you, and that's okay. For those of you who are more introspective and reflective, appreciate and love doing that type of work, please go ahead and sit back and relax, because I've got a lot to share with you today. Dun, dun, dun. Now, all my cards have been pre-shuffled. I'm going to use 4 decks, potentially 5, just depending on how the message flows and how the reading goes. But we're going to start with 4. And the first thing I'm going to start with is exploring who it is that you may have an energetic connection with. So please go ahead and relax, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. So when it comes to the individual observing this reading, who do they have an energetic connection to? Who is the individual that this person has an energetic connection to? Let's find out who this is. Who is this? Who is this? In regard to the individual observing this reading, I'm going to take that one. Do they have an energetic connection to? Okay. Who are they corded to? Who do they have a connection to? Ooh, way too many cards. But I appreciate that. Who do they have an energetic connection to? Who are they corded to? I am so nosy. See if anything else wants to come out here. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting this sense, but it really feels like this is someone that you either work with or someone you've met through work or met at the job space, or like maybe this is someone who's a mentor. Now, because this is a general reading, it could be multiple scenarios. So I am going to share multiple scenarios that this could potentially indicate, but the strongest energy I'm getting is that it feels like someone you worked with. And the thing about these type of energetic connections is that they can often hit us very hard and very quickly and very fast. And I feel like that's exactly what happens here. Like whatever this connection is hit you so fast. Like it literally came out of nowhere and you were just like, what is this connection that I feel to this individual? Where did it come from? Why is this happening to me? And I get it, and I completely understand. It's always the type of connection that kind of knocks you off your feet and kind of makes you think and reflect, which is, essentially what these connections are meant to do. But this really just feels like it's like someone you work with quite closely, like almost as maybe you guys share a cubicle space or a workspace, or it's like you guys work on projects very closely together, and it kind of caught you off guard, and it may have also caught the other individual off guard. Now, it's interesting here to see the Nine of Pentacles reversed because upright, this card typically indicate like independence or like luxury, but I almost feel like here this is saying like the energetic connection is one that has kind of caused turmoil, or I'm really also getting the sense that it's made you reflect on whether you oh my god, you poor thing. It's made me reflect on whether you want to stay in the job or keep the role at all. Like it's so completely distracting. Like I feel like you struggle to get work done, or maybe you are just so completely distracted and potentially hot and bothered. I don't know, but it feels strongly like whatever this connection is at the workplace or potentially at a job with a mentor, it's so incredibly distracting and it's affecting your work and your ability to get stuff done. And my heart goes out to you because that sounds kind of complicated. And I could see why that might be disrupting you and why you might be looking at this reading. So I'm just going to go a little bit more um, deeply into this connection because I want to know a little bit more about the dynamic here in regards to the courting. So, Tarot, can you tell me more about this connection? Okay. Look at the lovers here in reverse. Oh, man. Tell me more about this connection. Okay. Oh, I'm going to take this one too. Yeah, see, I really get the strong sense that there's like this hands off energy here. Like, hands off, this isn't something you do in a workspace, or maybe someone has a spouse or a partner at home, but there's a very strong sense of hands off, don't touch, this can't happen, this can't come together right now. Like I'm getting the sense of maybe even like some of that forbidden energy or a forbidden component to this connection, which obviously makes things even more difficult. Now, I feel like potentially the individual who's observing this reading, like you tried to maintain a level-headed emotional state when it comes to this connection. Like you're trying to present professionalism and maturity and that you've got it all together mentally and emotionally when it comes to this connection, and I commend you for doing that. But these energetic binds still affect us and they still have a toll on us, especially because we like to get into our head about them. So I do get the sense here that there's definitely, certainly a forbidden hands-off component to this connection, which makes a lot of sense in a workspace because oftentimes there are rules around dating your colleague, or maybe you fear getting fired or getting caught. So I get why there's a lot of conflicted energy here around that. So I want to know more about what specifically this chord or these chords is meant to teach. Specifically, I want to know how many chords are there and what are some of the lessons associated with those chords. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, this one just wanted to jump right away, so I'm going to take it. Thank you. I'm going to get a sense of how many chords there are and what these chords are trying to teach you to. All right, she wanted to come out. I'm going to take her. Thank you. Okay, wow. I'm going to take one more here. Oh my God, so how many chords are here? Oops. Sure, I'll take you. 9, 6, 26. So when it comes to this connection, there are a lot of chords here. Like I am talking maybe 5 or more chakras are involved. Like perhaps between 4 or more. So 4 or more chakras involved here. And that can be very intense. It can lead to things like feeling and sensing this person, thinking about them, having dreams about them, a lot of intrusive thoughts. So it is a very intense connection. And I get the sense that there are a couple of things here that you guys are meant to navigate through. Now, after this, I'm going to dig a little bit more into the sensual side of the connection, just to get a sense of if perhaps there are deeper romantic feelings here. Just because from this set of cards, I can't tell because there's that layer of professionalism. But underneath that, there could be a lot of stuff. So we're just starting to dig into what might be underneath that. And I think that there's a couple things here that you guys are meant to navigate through. Now, these each feel like different lessons, but oftentimes, even if there are individual lessons at the bigger level, there's like themes that are applicable to maybe perhaps the things we're carrying in regards to beliefs or patterns or behaviors. So please do keep that in mind. I feel like there's this sense here of like uncertainty or hopelessness when it comes to romantic connections. And, this energy comes through very, very strongly in the dating scene today. 2025 dating is rough. I don't know why it's so rough. I think that there are a couple factors that are playing a role in why people are struggling with dating right now. But there's a very strong sense of like this hopeless, helpless energy when it comes to meeting someone, like almost like every time I meet someone, there's a block, or every time I meet someone, there's something in the way that's keeping us from coming together. And that's tricky to navigate through, but it still comes down to our own individual beliefs. And obviously, when you have that sentiment that there's just never anyone I'm going to align with, well, guess what manifests? Nothing really aligns. Dating life gets blocked, it gets delayed because we have these thinking patterns and these beliefs that we're carrying that influence our behaviors, and we don't even know that that's what's happening, but that's literally exactly what's happening. So I do get the sense that there are some belief patterns that are being examined when it comes to things like, for example, dating in the workplace or meeting someone in the workplace. Like, yeah, this is a workspace. Yeah, there's professionalism involved, but is that a hard and fast rule, or are we just aligning ourselves to societal norms? What's more important? Dun dun dun. That kind of stuff. So with the Tower card here, I get the sense that Spirit is guiding you to explore that quite heavily, particularly those thinking and the beliefs and examining, all right, is this my belief? Is this something I believe with or align with? Or is this a societal expectation that's holding me back or keeping me from going to that next level, or even keeping me in a state of fear? And yeah, so with this card here as well, I strongly get the sense that there is this sense of like, I'm never going to meet anyone. And I'm also getting the sense that perhaps there is this desire to validate yourself through the lens of a romantic connection or a connection to another person. So, with that, it's a little bit more complex because spirit is going to say to you, you know what, you don't need an individual to validate you. You don't need another person to tell you that you're worthy, desirable, or beautiful. Like, yeah, it's nice to have our egos stroked sometimes, but you're being pushed to examine if you do that, and if so, why? Because there could be many reasons why we might find the need to validate ourselves in the context of a romantic relationships, and oftentimes it comes down to issues around self-worth. So, a couple of things that are being explored here in this connection. Now we're going to get into some of the more nitty-gritty stuff, some of the more sensual stuff. I didn't mention earlier that this rating is 18 plus, but it's 18 plus. So I'm going to transition into my Pining Rose Love Oracle deck. This is a very beautiful love deck. And I want to pierce this professional veil and get a sense of what the sentiments and feelings are underneath this connection. Like, or at least underneath the facade that is necessary in the workspace or the workplace or the environments. So let's dive right in. When it comes to this courted connection, what is the sentiment underneath the veil? What is the sentiment these two carry towards each other? I'm going to take that one, and oh, I got one, and I'm going to take it. All right. Oh, tell me more about what's underneath this professional facade. Okay, that is a lot of cards. We got awakening, commitment. What? Yearning. Okay. Phone call. Mm-hmm. Purge. Wow. Waiting and separation. So, yeah, I strongly get the sense that there's a lot of intense energy coming through in this connection. And I'm also getting the sense that this is a catalyst energy. Like it almost feels like it's meant to propel you into that next state of spiritual awareness, especially with the awakening card here. Now, oftentimes connections will do that to us. They'll kind of catalyze us into our next phase of spiritual growth and development. But underneath that, there certainly is a deeper attraction here, especially when it comes to this yearning and this commitment. Phone call oftentimes indicates that there's a desire to communicate or a desire to like express some of this at some level, but we can't. And when it comes to that guardedness and again, those norms and the rules and the space, this hurt, waiting, and separation energy feels like the result of that. Like, oh my gosh, this is more of like what we want, and this is kind of the result because, hey, we're in this space where we can't cross that line. So I do strongly get the sense that there is deeper connection and attraction here, deeper yearning. Now, I get the sense that it's very much like, gosh, I'm curious about this connection. I get the sense that there's a lot of curiosity here about like what could be or potential, like exploring that potential is what I get here. Now, I don't get or see a lot of like deeply sexual energy, but that doesn't mean that it's not in there somewhere. It's just when it comes to the connection in its current state, there's just a lot of like curiosity. There's definitely yearning for more communication and connection and exploration. Like it's very like curious energy, if that makes sense. So, whew, I'm going to transition into a little bit more guidance when it comes to this connection. We're going to use my Aurora Oracle. So we're going to transition into some guidance messages, and then we're going to conclude with some things that this individual may want to say to you. So obviously, we recognize that this is quite a tricky situation. Spirit, when it comes to this connection, how should the individual watching this video navigate it? How should she navigate? Okay. Those just flew out right away. I will take it. Oh my God, 4 here. Okay. I got karma, understanding, free will, of course, and forgiveness. All right. Just going to get some clarity around this. When it comes to this connection, what guidance messages do we have for the individual watching this video? And that ended up being okay. Wow. So karma came out here first, which feels again very strongly to me like there is something you are meant to learn when it comes to this connection. And with the understanding card, I feel like it's a very introspective process. Like it's almost like you're going to have to see what it is that's being like triggered within you when it comes to this connection and understand what it's saying to you about yourself. Now, we did pull earlier a little bit of information about how perhaps some of your thinking and beliefs around dating might be implicated here in this connection. The Spirit is reiterating that even though this is a very intense and tricky situation, you do have free will. So you don't have to engage in this connection. You don't even have to stay in the role or position. You can do whatever you want when it comes to this connection. But at the end of the day, even if you do decide to walk away or go elsewhere or work elsewhere, those cords are going to remain. So I'm being guided to remind you of that ultimately when it comes to those energetic cords, they're there for a reason. And that if we want them to go away, we have to learn the lesson on both sides. Now, when it comes to that, there are exceptions. If you're curious about that, please go check out that episode that I mentioned. But ultimately, you're going to have to work through some of the things that are being brought forth within you when it comes to the connection and how it makes you feel and the dynamic that you're in and societal norms and thinking patterns and beliefs. And ultimately, working through that stuff is how you grow, evolve, and get closer to finding more mental and emotional peace. Now, it's interesting that I got the forgiveness card here, which makes me feel like perhaps when it comes to this connection or maybe prior connections, it felt strongly like prior connections that perhaps there's this sense of needing to forgive those individuals or forgive yourself, regardless of how those connections may have ended. Because oftentimes when we have prior connections that end, oftentimes they're not on the best of terms, and then it can leave us feeling resentful or jaded in some way and influence our beliefs into future connections. So you're being guided to explore that as well. And the thing about these type of connections is that they will often mirror things that we are carrying from prior connections. So I do strongly get the sense that that's very significant when it comes to this connection. I also get the sense that perhaps when it comes to those prior connections you were involved in, there may have been someone leaving someone else or leaving someone else out in the cold, or maybe even like abandoning someone or walking away from someone. And obviously, that can leave us feeling a certain kind of way. I'm getting the impression that perhaps that could be influencing how you're perceiving this connection. And I also am getting the sense that this might be something generational. Like maybe there is some type of pattern in your family of hurt and abandonment in relationships or in connections that's being highlighted here. But you're being guided to like move beyond it and turn over a new leaf and try a different way and let go of some of the prior pain and prior hurts and stop letting it influence your future connections or your perceptions towards romantic connections. Because as long as you carry that, you're going to struggle in the dating space. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, again, not here to sugarcoat. I want you to be successful in a dating space. But it's really hard to do that when we're carrying baggage because we project that onto our spouse, our boyfriend, the person we're dating, and then things get kind of messy. Okay? I care about you and I want you to succeed. So before we conclude this reading, I am going to pull a couple cards from one of my favorite decks. This is Speak Up, Mi Amor. I'm listening. Channeled messages from my spiritual love. It says channeled messages. Oh, created by my spiritual love. Yeah. So one of my favorite decks, and we're going to see when it comes to this other individual, what would they like to say or share to the individual watching this video? What would they like to say? Ah, okay. What would they like to say? Okay. Oh my gosh. He or she has a lot to say. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow. So I know I made mistakes by walking away. I regret it every day. Wow. Remember I was just saying that there was some hurt in here about potentially someone walking away? Yeah, this doesn't really feel like the person that you're connected to right now. This could be from prior connections or prior relationships. I'll leave that up to you. Please take what resonates. But that is very, very interesting. And it also makes me think that perhaps you might be courted to multiple individuals here. So whatever comes through here could be indicative of the person we are inquiring about today or prior connections. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to hurt us. You still turn me on. Just the thought of you drives me crazy. I'm not sure about a lot of things, but I'm sure about you. No doubts guaranteed. Mm. Things are not as they seem. Always remember that. And I'm learning all the lessons. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, honey, you're courted to a couple divine masculines or feminines. Again, I'm referring to energies. Not here to offend anyone when it comes to gender, but I often do refer to energies as masculine or feminine. And whoever is watching is courted to multiple individuals. So I'm going to pull just a few more cards. These are just messages of guidance and inspiration from the angels. It is my healing angel cards, loving guidance from the angels. And we're just going to pull a couple of these messages because I know this was probably a relatively heavy reading, but you know, you're here for a reason. You can handle it. You're brave. All right, what final messages do we have? Okay, what final messages do we have for our watchers? Okay, I'll take that one. I'm going to put these ones back in here. What final messages do we have for our watchers? Okay. Diversity. The world would be a boring place if we were all the same. Celebrate your uniqueness. You are special and much loved. Positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds, and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. Wow. And fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you, I protect you, and keep you safe. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. Very beautiful messages here. So I hope that that was helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit of clarity when it comes to your courted connection. I will be posting more readings like this, but I absolutely love feedback. So if you do have any feedback, please do let me know in the comments. And if you like these type of readings, I will be providing them in our Patreon, but the Higher Vibe Tribe. And for the first 20 members that join the Higher Vibe Tribe, I'm going to offer you a free reading. Yes, you heard that right. free readings to the first 20 individuals who join the Higher Vibe Tribe. Now, that means that if you're going to join and you're going to be a part of a community that's meant to help guide you and support you on your spiritual journey, you can't just join, get the reading, and leave. Like, I'm going to call you out, okay? Like, I'm going to go find you and I'm going to call you out and then I'm going to say something, okay? So I would hope that those who really want to be a part of a community of individuals who are here to support each other, uplift each other, especially at a time when we need collaboration and collectivism in our society so bad. I really hope that you would want to be a part of it and help craft and mold it into something beautiful. So I'm making that offer today. And if you're interested in checking out the Higher Vibe Tribe, you can find link to that on our website or in the notes, in the comments, in the video description. And I really hope that you guys will check it out and be a part of something bigger and beautiful, because I would love to see all your lovely faces. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.